All right, Derby fans, are you ready for some more Derby action? Not that you're not going to be caught off guard, let's try that one more time. Are you guys ready for some Derby action? Welcome back to Ability 360. We are about to start bout number 3 of Monsoon Madness 2 2019. It's going to be the 36th ranked Dallas, Texas, the Army of Darkness versus 22nd ranked Phoenix, Arizona's Arizona All-Stars. So we'll start off with the Dallas skaters. Skating for Dallas, number 10, Kate Dudley. Number 1111, Melly Confusion. Number 1229, Juicebox. Number 16, Bourbon Barbie. Number 1776, Red, White, and Bruise. Number 1980, Shiva Diva. Number 235, Guillotine Grace. Number 29, Illuminati. Number 33, Carmen Get Me. Number 3820, K Carnage. Number 420, Rocky Roadhouse. Number 47, James Mames. Number 610, Mad Hatter Moose. Number 7, Retro Dolly. Number 82, Myth America. Number 841, Sweeping Booty. Number 88, Ms. Murder. Number 9, Bailey Wheat. And number 999, 9 Mil Nancy. Your coaches are Matt Bertelson and Bud Monfeld.
All right, and we are happy to have our Arizona All-Stars in the house today. On the track, number 008, Ham Weezy. Number 01, Chelsea Winkle. Number 10, Frida. Number 12, Kapulani Kawapwiki. Number 122, Castrator. Number 17, Don't Blink. Number 175, Chocolate. Number 1803, I'm a Blowbaya. Number 21, RC Autobot. Number 313, West Coast Mafia. Number 317, Block and Decker. Number 394, Helga Hufflepunk. Number 5000, she's a stash bot. Number 56, Who's Nuts? Bless. Number 618, Sure Man. Number 7, Rocky Bonobo. Number 79, Kalaka, your captain of the All-Stars. Number 9, Jess West. And number 924, Loose Chaos. Your bench staff this afternoon is Billy Motion and Fred Nuts.
Our officials for this game are Harley Quinn Davidson, Colin M. Fairley, Snow, Wifo, Pyro the Dragon, Scary B. Cheesus, PK Biddy, Flow Block, Wreck-It Ray, Phoenix, Elder Horman, Elder Wood, Korean Jesus, Sugar and Spikes, Vixen Tequila, and Keshi.
And with that, we are ready to get underway here in this bout. Looks like the officials are just about closing in and finishing our captain's meeting, so just about ready to get underway. All right, Derby fans, we are ready to get started. So it looks like our first jammer for Dallas is going to be Bourbon Barbie. And we'll wait till those jammers come around and I'll give you an update on who's jamming for Arizona. But quickly to the front of the pack goes your Arizona jammer, dispensing with that last blocker and getting clear as lead jammer for Arizona is going to be number 122. That is Castrator. Castrator's your lead jammer for Arizona, now catching up to the pack. Bourbon Barbie out the front of the pack now. And is going to try to force the issue as Castrator completes a scoring pass and calls off the jam. So Castrator quickly able to put 4 points up on the board for Arizona to start the scoring here in bout number 3 of Monsoon Madness 2019. 5-second call goes up, and we are ready to start the next jam. Get you those jammers as soon as I can see them. Jamming for Arizona is going to be West Coast Mafia, and she is out and clear. Number 313 is your lead jammer for Arizona. That star pass for Dallas, and taking over as jammer for Dallas is going to be number 88. That is Ms. Murder. Taking over for Dallas as the jammer, but finishing that scoring pass for Arizona and calling off the jam was West Coast Mafia. So 4 more points up on the board for Arizona. Setting up the jam now, it's going to be Loose Chaos jamming for Arizona, but your Dallas jammer quickly to the front of the pack. And your jammer for Dallas is going to be number 9. That is Bailey Wheat. So Bailey Wheat, lead jammer, Loose Chaos out right behind her, though, and is going to try to force the issue. Bailey Wheat now catching up to the pack quickly and calls it off. One of the Dallas blockers had fallen there in the back straightaway, and Bailey Wheat called it off before Loose Chaos was able to pick up that gimme point. So no score for either side there as we get ready to move forward to the next jam. Arizona jammer is going to be Stashbot. And looks like jamming for Dallas is going to be K Carnage, number 3820. So quickly fighting away to the front of the pack. Stashbot blasting her way through that 2-wall there. And Stashbot is the lead jammer for Arizona. Stashbot right along the inside, found an opening along the inside there and able to get through and pick up some points for Arizona. Taking over as jammer for Dallas is going to be number 1229. That is Juicebox. So Stashbot now catches up to the pack. Tries to slide in there and pick up some points before calling off the jam. So we get underway here in the next jam. It's going to be Castrator for Arizona doing the jamming. Your Dallas jammer is Bourbon Barbie, number 16. Trying to fight her way through the pack. Castrator up to the front of the pack is lead jammer and gets clear that last blocker, and she's out and clear.
Bourbon Barbie with 1 to beat on the straightaway. That's D's Nuts taking out Bourbon Barbie. Castrator with 3 now at the front of the pack.
And Bourbon Barbie able to get out the front of the pack for Dallas. So she's going to try to force the issue as Castrator finishes off her scoring pass.
It looks like we've got James Mames, Kapulani Kapuiki, and Chocolate in the box. Arizona at a pack disadvantage for this upcoming jam.
So your score right now, Arizona 18, Dallas still scoreless, looking to get on the board. But again, Dallas starts off here with a 2-skater advantage in the pack.
Looks like our jammer rotation for each team is about 4 jammers deep right now. 9-male Nancy out of the pack. West Coast Mafia looking for some points. West Coast Mafia, your lead jammer. Yes, lead jammer for Arizona.
So West Coast Mafia calls off the jam there. And No points for either side as we get ready to start the next jam. 5 seconds go up.
Looks like Loose Chaos jamming for Arizona up against Bailey Wheat for Dallas. Loose Chaos fan favorite and your lead jammer for the Arizona All-Stars. Dallas not in a shape, not prepared for Loose Chaos to skate on through. Jess West taking out a blocker and a ref, just by accident there. Loose Chaos able to jump through that apex on the inside, lands it, and gets her 4 points and calls it off. Total of 8 points for Arizona in that half.
And it looks like we have had an official review request, and I believe that came from Arizona. So we will wait and see there. So it's going to be an official review, so we're going to take a break from the action here momentarily. So once again, we are in an official review at the moment. Brief break in the action.
Just a little FYI for our fans in the house, we're only going to have a 10-minute break in between the first half and the second half. We are a teensy bit behind schedule, so we're going to try and remedy that. We like our derby to remain on time.
Looks like we are talking to the coaches, so the review will have wrapped up. We will wait for the official word from the infield. Arizona. If he was pointing, I think he was, yeah.
All right, we're going to hear from our head ref in this game about that official review.
Arizona's official review was to seek an illegal reentry as accelerating from out of bounds penalty upon the jammer from Dallas. It was determined during the review strides that they took were not warranting a penalty. Therefore, Arizona will not retain the review.
Thank you, Harley Quinn Davidson. We appreciate that. That rolling whistle means we get to play more derby. Arizona on the board with a score of 26. Dallas held scoreless as we start Jam 8 of this game. Stash Spot going up against K Carnage. Stash Spot able to stay in bounds and is your lead jammer for the Arizona All-Stars. K Carnage being recycled back by D's Nuts and Chocolate. Big hit on Stash Spot by Blocker 1229 Juice Box. Looks like our new jammer of record is going to be Miss Murder for Dallas.
With the Star Pass that did force Stash Spot to call off the jam. Stash Spot putting 7 points on the board for Arizona there, so 33 for Arizona on the board right now, and Dallas looking for their first points.
We have Castrator wearing the star for Arizona and Bourbon Barbie for the Dallas Ace All-Stars. Sorry, the Dallas Army of Darkness. I mean, if you're going to have a cool name, I might as well use it, right? Castrator is your lead jammer for Arizona. Looks like Bourbon Barbie assessed a cut track penalty, headed to the penalty box.
So Castrator now going to do the power jam for Arizona. Arizona gets a power jam for about the next 23 seconds or so. Castrator makes her way by along the inside. The blocker that blocked her off went off the track as well. So Castrator now trying to fight her way through the pack, getting some help from a couple of blockers, has one more blocker to deal with. It was clinging to that outside of the track and bumped off.
Big hit to the outside there by Sweeping Booty from Dallas, forcing the call off. West Coast Mafia will start in a very quick power start as Bourbon Barbie is still in the penalty box.
We're going to have an official timeout here, so the referees are going to talk over some of the action here and make sure all is well.
So we are starting, we've had 9 jams so far. Arizona has gotten 8 of those 9 lead jammer statuses available to them, which is indicative of the score, 41-0.
Looks like the timeout's going to come to an end here, so we'll get ready to get back to the action. And there we go, back to the action. West Coast Mafia, number 313 is going to be your jammer for Arizona. Was trying to fight her way to the front of the pack, but Bourbon Barbie is going to be your lead jammer for Dallas. So Bourbon Barbie coming around now and looking to put some points on the board for Dallas. Meanwhile, West Coast Mafia to the front of the pack, and she is out and clear as well. Bourbon Barbie fighting her way through, completing the scoring pass and calls it off. That'll be 4 points up on the board for Dallas.
First 4 points for the Dallas Army of Darkness.
That's going to be Lose Chaos getting to jam for Arizona.
And going up against Chaos is number 999, 9 Mil Nancy. 9 Mil Nancy apparently always has snacks. Their fun fact is that their favorites are gummy bears, pickles, beef jerky, and an assortment of Mexican candy. So, you know, welcome to Phoenix. We have all of those things for you, 9 Mil Nancy.
Loose Chaos down to the inside and able to emerge from the pack, and is your lead jammer for Arizona. 9 Nancy still trying to deal with that 3 wall of blockers as the front of the pack. Loose Chaos bumped off to the infield. And now Loose Chaos tiptoes around the outside. Finishes off the scoring pass for Arizona. It'll be coming around for some more. 9 Nancy now free the pack for Dallas.
Dallas blockers heading to the front of the pack, try and protect their points from an impending Loose Chaos jammer. She does get her 4 points and call it off. And Derby fans, I do want to remind you that Ability 360, our lovely venue here, is a scent-free zone. That means no sprays, no perfumes, no smoking or vaping while inside. The designated smoking area is the second floor of the parking garage.
So we're underway here in the next jam, and fighting way to the front of the pack is Stashbot 5000 for Arizona.
Almost looked like a couple skate there. Both jammers getting taken out by each other on the far straightaway up near the pivot line. When the dust settles, that was a 4-point jam in favor of Arizona.
So we'll set it for the next jam here. It's going to be Bourbon Barbie for Dallas. And Castrator is going to be jamming for Arizona. Bourbon Barbie tried to tiptoe along the inside, was not able to find an opening. Castrator along the inside now, able to get right to the front. Castrator's your lead jammer for Arizona. Bourbon Barbie quickly around the outside, able to find an opening along that 3 wall of defenders of Arizona and gets to the front of the pack, while meanwhile Castrator, mid-pack now trying to find a way through. Spins around those last couple of defenders, trying to make sure she gets all 4 of those points and calls it off.
West Coast Mafia jamming for Arizona. K Carnage jamming for Dallas. Getting recycled back by Kalaka to the far edge of turn 4. West Coast pushing against 3 solid Dallas blockers. West Coast trying to take that inside line, gets hit to the inside for her trouble. Meanwhile, K Carnage still kind of orbiting around the track from side to side on the pivot line. West Coast Mafia gets that lead jammer status. K Carnage attempting to, or making the motions of passing that helmet cover. Gets recycled back by Ham Wheezy and Don't Blink. K Carnage able to sneak through on the inside. West Coast Mafia calls it off. 3 points for Arizona.
So we're getting ready for the next jam here. That looks like Lose Chaos for Arizona and 9 Nancy for Dallas. Loose Chaos right through the pack. Immediately emerges as lead jammer for Arizona. 9-mil Nancy quickly out as well for Dallas. So we've got a bit of a jam race trying to catch up to the pack here. Loose Chaos now starting to work on the pack, making her way through, weaving her way through the pack.
Loose Chaos running that one a little bit longer. Four points in that jam for Loose Chaos. Bringing Arizona's score to 63 to Dallas's 4. This is another sanctioned game, so again, every point is going to matter. Stashbot going up against Bailey Wheat. Stashbot with 3 to beat, 1 to beat at the front of the pack. And she is your lead jammer for Arizona. Bailey Wheat in hot pursuit. There are lots of whistles, some stumbles. Stashbot calling it a little early, getting her point and calling it off. I do want to remind everybody about one of our sponsors that we are so fortunate to have. We want to send a huge thank you to Next Care, Urgent Care, for helping keep our emergency medical supplies replenished. We definitely hope to not need these supplies, but thanks to the support of Urgent Care, Next Care, we are ready.
We've got Castrator jamming for Arizona, Bourbon Barbie for Dallas. Both of them are kind of hemmed into the back of the pack there. This jammed a little bit more of a defensive struggle than the past several. Several skaters there are kind of taking a slow fall. And I can see Castrator in there. Coming up the front. There we go. We're out. They're both out at the same time. Roughly, it looks like Castrator is lead jammer at the moment and goes ahead and calls it off with both of them coming on around. But yeah, I think myself and Ravelin were each watching one of the jammers, and they both came out at about the same time. So no points for either side. We will reconvene for the next jam. Looks like that's going to be K Carnage for Dallas. West Coast Mafia for Arizona.
These teams seem to have a pretty strict 4-jammer rotation. We're seeing a lot of the same matchups each time.
In the case of Arizona, I'm sure it's kind of a if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of a thing. It definitely seems to be working for them well so far in this game. And quickly out the front of the pack, both jammers at roughly the same time. West Coast Mafia, and she goes ahead and calls off the jam with Kate Carnage right behind her.
West Coast Mafia not willing to risk any of those points going up for Dallas, and calls it off immediately, seeing that the other jammer is right behind her.
So it looks like we have Loose Chaos for Arizona. And then 9-mil Nancy is going to be your jammer for Dallas.
Loose Chaos, evading a couple of blockers on the outside there to get lead jammer status. 9-mil Nancy, almost in the same position, gets a piece of, I believe that's RC Autobot, recycling her back to almost the pivot line. Loose Chaos really good at juking around, but able to stay in bounds or at least come back in legally. 9-mil Nancy looking for a little bit of offense at the back of the pack.
Loose Chaos, the great individual effort there at the front of the pack to get around those blockers, and taking over as jammer for Dallas is going to be number 235. That is Guillotine Grace taking over as jammer for Dallas. Loose Chaos now mid-pack, bumped off to the outside, trying to pick up a couple more points, and calls it off.
Dallas employing a lot of star stashes and a couple of star passes to try and force Arizona to call off the jam, just like we saw in that last jam with the star going to Guillotine Grace. We do have Bailey Wheat wearing the star for Dallas now, going up against Stashbot 5000 for Arizona. Stashbot able to find that hole on the inside line. Bailey Wheat with the star stash just to get out of the pack.
And Stashbot able to stay up on her wheels there, did a spin move, lost her balance, but able to stay in bounds and calls off the jam.
Yeah, quick glance behind reveals that Bailey Wheat is pretty hot in pursuit. Probably a good idea to call it if you want to hold off on any points being scored. And for any of our local Arizona friends, this looks like something you want to do, whether it is one of our skating officials, non-skating officials, or some of the awesomeness on the track, come to our new member orientation on June 7th at 7 p.m. at the AZRD warehouse over at 32nd Street and Weir. You can get more information on that from Facebook.
So your jammer for Arizona is going to be Cass Strader and is the lead jammer. She's already finishing the scoring pass here. Bourbon Barbie is going to be jamming for Dallas, and with a full head of steam gets out of the pack as well. So Cass Strader finishes off her scoring pass and calls off the jam. So it looks like we're getting ready to go, and it looks like jamming for Arizona is going to be West Coast Mafia. And West Coast Mafia is your lead jammer for Arizona. Kate Carnage is jamming for Dallas. And trying to weave away to the front of the pack, Kate Carnage just almost was not quite able to dodge the block from Block and Decker, and the crowd gives a good cheer to Block and Decker. What a defensive effort to chase down that jammer for Dallas and get just enough of a hip on her to knock her off stride.
Can I just say, as a person who likes to block, that is just goals what Block and Decker just achieved. That was amazing. I'm going to watch the replay on that on YouTube. Oh, amazing. Score right now, Arizona with 88, Dallas with 4. Jammers are very low. It looks like loose chaos, which means we must have 9-mil Nancy for Dallas.
It's Bourbon Barbie for Dallas as we see that hair coming out of the pack.
Bourbon Barbie.
Yeah. Loose Chaos finishes off her scoring pass and calls it off after picking up her 4 points.
We've got Stashbot 5000 lining up with the star up against 9-mil Nancy for Dallas. Pack off to a quick start. Stashbot trying to take the outside lane, shakes off a pretty big hit from number 1229 from Dallas. That's Juicebox. Stashbot able to whip around a couple more Dallas blockers at the front of the pack for 4 points. 9-mil. Dallas jammer getting recycled back by Ima Blobaya. Jammer of note now, number 88, is it Miss Murder? It is Miss Murder. Stashbot on her 3rd scoring pass. Arizona breaking the century mark in this jam. About 4.5 minutes left in this first period. And don't go anywhere after this, Derby fans, because we have another great game after this one. We are going to welcome our Arizona B team to take on the Dallas B team. So all of the friends, for everyone who's on the track right now. Stashbot getting hit a little bit to the inside, takes herself out and calls it off. Huge 20-point jam for Arizona.
Looks like your jammer for Arizona is going to be Castrator.
Looks like Bailey Wheat jamming for Dallas. I do enjoy that the Army of Darkness, the Dallas team, is also wearing the darker jersey in this game. Bailey Wheat, lead jammer for Dallas. This is the third time that Dallas has gotten lead jam this entire game. And we have a little bit of strategy happening on the track. Sherman receiving the jammer star as Bailey Wheat gets her points and calls it off. 3 points on the board for Dallas in that jam.
So we'll set it for the next jam. It looks like we got Bourbon Barbie jamming for Dallas. But before we get to that, we are going to have an official timeout. So the official is going to take a second to discuss something that happened there in the previous jam.
And if you are in the venue and a little thirsty, definitely go get your ID checked at the concession stand. Get your wristband, not your wrist guard, your wristband. And grab a beer. We have beer care of North Mountain Brewery, Mother Bunch Brewery, and Husk Beer. In addition, for our after party, we are happy to have you join us at the official AZRD after party at Angel's Trumpet Ale House in Arcadia. That is about 10 minutes north of Ability 360, just off of 44th Street. And if you are so inclined to join us at the after party, that's going to be at Boycott Bar at 7th Avenue, north of Indian School. We are so happy also to welcome Rain Total Body Fuel to the AZRD family. They are a brand new sponsor, and they are here on site today in a couple of locations. One down on the polished wood floor, and then on the upper concourse. And they are giving out free samples to try. So definitely go talk to the lovely sponsors, Rain Total Body Fuel. And go ahead.
Quickly underway here in this jam, and Bourbon Barbie races to the front of the pack and is their lead jammer for Dallas. So Bourbon Barbie able to take advantage of the fact that there's two Arizona blockers in the penalty box right now. And Bourbon Barbie finishes off her scoring pass, Block and Deckerson to the penalty box as well, as Arizona gains a defender from the penalty box. So now Bourbon Barbie trying to finish off another scoring pass, weaving her way through the pack. Just had that pivot to deal with and gets on through, does Bourbon Barbie. West Coast Mafia approaching the pack, so Bourbon Barbie calls it off for Dallas. Good strong jam for Dallas.
Huge jam by Dallas there. Looks like we are setting up for loose chaos for Arizona in this next jam. it is Kay Carnage for Dallas wearing the star. And Kay Carnage, your lead jammer for Dallas. Loose Chaos, though, not letting her out of her sights. And the pack significantly pouring on the speed. Looks like Arizona's blockers rejoining the pack. Had a couple of blockers in the box. Kay Carnage taking a look at the landscape and calling it off.
Setting up to jam now for Dallas is going to be 9-0 Nancy. For Arizona, that's Dashbot 5000. Trying to fight her way to the front of the pack. There goes Dashbot, and she is out and clear and is your lead jammer for Arizona.
Dashbot 5000 putting the brakes on the lead jammer streak that Dallas had. They had 3 jams in a row with lead jammer status. Stashbot now reclaiming that back. And Stash is in control of the jam clock. The period clock has expired. She's got 4 points currently on this point scoring pass. And very smart strategy, just as Juicebox was putting the star on her helmet, Stashbot calls it off, and we are gonna have a quick 10 or 15 minute intermission.
Once again, fans, just a quick reminder as you head into an intermission. No smoking, no vaping indoors of any kind. If you would like to smoke or vape, please see yourself to the top of the parking garage. That is the designated smoking area. And of course, be sure to visit our food trucks outside. Right now, your options are the, Bayou Bistro and Back in Time. So 2 great options for you. And then at 4 p.m., we'll be joined by When Pigs Fly for 4 to 9 tonight. And we'll be back with you in 9 minutes and 11 seconds. At the championship out.
Quick little recap on our scores and jammer successes in that first half. So our score right now sits Dallas 15 and Arizona 120. Those 15 points were primarily due to Bourbon Barbie. She got 12 out of those 15 points in the first half for Dallas. And for Arizona, Stashbot scored 50 out of those 120 points, followed then by Loose Chaos with 36, Castrator with 23, and then West Coast Mafia with 11. So we're going to round out that intermission. I do want to give a shout out to we have some great vendors in the house today. Again, I let you know about Rain Total Body Fuel. Kalaka's Poison Skate Shop. You may have noticed Kalaka is on the track. Her husband is manning the skate shop booth down there on Vendor Row. And then we also have Natural Holistic Medical Center. They help with so many of your medical needs, including IV fluids and vitamin replacement, hormone therapy, and medical marijuana cards. So definitely check out Natural Holistic Medical Center down on Vendor Row. We've got about 10 seconds left in this intermission. I see Castrator on the line going up against 9 Mil Nancy. It's like everybody is in place, ready to go. I love that rolling whistle.
And we are underway here in the second half of this bout. Both jammers right up into the middle of the pack and trying to make their way through. And along the inside, there goes Castrator, and Castrator's your lead jammer for Arizona.
Looks like a little bit of strategy there. Our helmet cover has gone from 9 Mil Nancy to number 841.
And Sweeping Booty for Dallas. So Sweeping Booty takes over as jammer for Dallas. And Castrator is keeping a mindful eye on that while the pack is busy trying to play keep away from the two jammers as they all proceed around the corner.
It's like we're doing a little bit of that derby style roller derby, making it into a race. Looks like Sweeping Beauty did get one of those points for Dallas, and Castrator had 4 in that round. All right, West Coast Mafia on the line for Arizona. Bourbon Barbie for Dallas. Arizona's blockers rolling back a little bit on Bourbon Barbie to hold her to that jammer line. West Coast Mafia, lead jammer approaching the pack. Almost able to take the entire inside line by side skating, gets through and gets her 4 points.
Bourbon Barbie able to race to the front of the pack for Dallas and get clear as well.
Quick 4 points for Arizona. Score for Arizona is 128. Score for Dallas is 16.
Setting up the jam for Arizona is going to be Loose Chaos. And it appears the jammer for Dallas is K Carnage.
Kate Carnage headed out just behind Loose Chaos, had a no pass, no penalty around an Arizona blocker. Loose Chaos with a quick glance behind her, not willing to risk Dallas getting any of these points. Again, I believe we are in a sanctioned bout, which means these points are gonna count for or against rankings.
Setting up the jam for Arizona is going to be Stashbot 5000, and your jammer for Dallas, we will get to you in a moment. 9-mil Nancy, one of the spotters tells me. Stashbot, meanwhile, up to the front of the pack and is trying to get clear, but given the wave around, it's ruled that the blocker fell out of bounds as well, so Stashbot is your lead jammer for Arizona.
We do have 2 Dallas blockers in the box, making Stashbot's commute through the pack a relatively easy one. Okay, I see. Looks like our pivot is now our jammer on the Dallas side. Miss Murder about to put that star on the helmet.
And so we'll line up for the next jam, and we've got castrated for Arizona. Your jammer for Dallas is going to be number 9, Bailey Wheat.
Bailey Wheat coming off of that that jam whistle with a little bit of speed. See if that works out in her favor. Castrator, though, your lead jammer for Arizona. Bailey Wheat taking off the star, almost going to be a pass to Sweeping Booty, decides to put it back on her helmet. Castrator getting her points and calling it off, not wanting to risk any points for Dallas.
We've got West Coast Mafia jamming for Arizona, Bourbon Barbie for Dallas as we get underway in this next jam. Bourbon Barbie's has some success getting clear for Dallas here tonight, but this time is pinned in by that Arizona defense. West Coast Mafia to the front of the pack and is your lead jammer for Arizona.
West Coast Mafia with some real patient jamming there at the front of the pack. Just kind of taking her time, not risking any penalties. Lots of whistles. Low block being called on Kapulani Kaupuiki. Also, looks like Miss Murder from Dallas heading to the box for the cut track call. West Coast Mafia able to get through her for more points. Bourbon Barbie completes her initial pass, holding the star. That was, I believe, the 3rd scoring pass for West Coast Mafia, bringing the score for Arizona to 152, Dallas with 16.
Setting up the jam for Arizona is going to be Lose Chaos, and it looks like the jammer for Dallas is going to be 9-mil Nancy.
Nine-mil Nancy wearing the star for Dallas, going up against Lose Chaos for Arizona. Lose Chaos getting a lot of resistance at the front of the pack. Frequently, we've seen Lose Chaos kind of cut through this pack like butter, and that is not the case right now. Dallas employing an interesting inversion technique, holding the hands of their blockers and then cinching up if they need to. We are almost at an out-of-play situation. There we go. After about 40 seconds there, Lose Chaos is your lead jammer for Arizona. 9-mil Nancy now deciding to pass that star helmet cover to Miss Murder.
So Miss Murder gaining on the pack, and Loose Chaos goes ahead and calls off the jam before surrendering any points.
Quick 4 points there for Loose Chaos. That's actually pretty low scoring considering what we've seen for Dallas to hold Arizona to only 4 points in this jam by forcing that call off with the Star Pass. Looks like our jammers are checking their numbers on their armbands. I believe that is K Carnage jamming for Dallas and Stashbot 5000 for the Arizona All-Stars. Stashbot taking a bit of a tumble to the inside. Stashbot is awarded lead jammer, but she is behind K Carnage. Calls off the jam, not willing to risk any of those points going to Dallas.
So the next jam underway, and fighting way to the front of the pack is going to be Castrator for Arizona, trying to battle their way through those Dallas defenders, pumped off to the infield and trying to reestablish. And Bourbon Barbie picks up a cut track penalty for Dallas, so it's going to be a power jam for Arizona. Castrator clear of the pack now, in Arizona on the power jam for the next 25 seconds.
Castrator taking advantage of some of the chaos on the track with some offense there. Gets her 4 points.
Power jam comes to an end as Bourbon Barbie back on the track for Dallas.
Dallas doing a good job of getting in the way of the Arizona blockers, trying to break up the pack a little bit. Bourbon Barbie with 1 and 2 to beat. Castrator with another 4 points. Bourbon Barbie looking a little bit like there might be some jammer aggression up there. If you are liking the competition you're seeing right now, definitely stick around. Our next game starts at 3:15. Oh, quick timeout. Our next game starts at 3:15, and it is the Arizona Rising B team versus the Dallas Battalion of Doom, their B team. We saw them first thing this morning. We saw the Battalion of Doom taking on Dos por Cuatro's B team this morning. And then after that, we're going to watch some more Dos por Cuatros and Tampa at 5 o'clock.
We are ready to get back to the action. The timeout has come to an end.
West Coast Mafia going up against 9-Male Nancy. West Coast Mafia quickly out to lead jammer status on that inside line. Nine-Male Nancy getting pushed to the inside, recycling back to the apex. 9 Mil Nancy passing that star helmet cover to Miss Murder. It's like we might have a shin guard on the track. Glad everyone is avoiding that. Quick 4 points. Oh, I take that back. It'll be 7 points for Arizona.
So the track is cleared, and it looks like we're going to have Lose Chaos getting ready to jam for Arizona.
Loose Carnage going up against K Carnage. Again, both teams seem to have a pretty tight forward jammer rotation. Beautiful pirouette there on the straightaway gives Loose Chaos lead jammer status. K Carnage with 2 to beat. But not quickly enough. Arizona does reform in front of her. And I did not see, a back block call on Loose Chaos. This is giving K Carnage 30 seconds unopposed.
So K Carnage finding out she's on the power jam just after she was getting up from the track, was knocked down hard, and is now on the power jam for Dallas at probably about 22 seconds or so to go in the power jam. So Dallas going to try to put some points on the board here. K Carnage finishing that first scoring pass, now coming around for seconds. And the power jam is over. Lose Chaos out of the penalty box. Back on the track for Arizona.
As Loose Chaos comes out of the box, she's recycled back past the jammer line. About 30 seconds left in this this part of this jam. About 15 minutes left in the second half. Loose Chaos able to get through worth 4 points. K Carnage getting recycled back to the straightaway by Don't Blink. Lots of jammer recycling. All of our jammers are super sustainable. Loose Chaos gets back to that straightaway as the jam time expires. Ooh, and it looks like that jam is 8 points in favor of Dallas, 7 for Arizona, bringing Dallas' score to 24, Arizona's 182. And again, these two teams are ranked. Dallas is 36th in the world in WIFTDA, and Arizona is 22nd. Stashbot 5,000 out to lead jammer status against Bourbon Barbie for Dallas. Bourbon Barbie hit to the outside, but able to enter back in legally. Stashbot, again, not risking Dallas to get any points, gets her quick 4 points and calls it off.
So we'll set it for the next jam here. It looks like that is going to be Castrator for Arizona. And then 9 Mil Nancy is jamming for Dallas as we get underway here. Trying to find a way to the front of the pack, but recycled to the back of the pack. He's your Arizona jammer Castrator, so now tries again, goes along the inside. Finds an opening as your lead jammer for Arizona. Out of the pack is 9 Mil Nancy for Dallas. So Castrator's going to try to catch up to the pack here and put some points on the board. And Castrator makes it by one. Skater goes ahead and calls it off. Jammer for Dallas is going to be number 9, Bailey Wheat.
Bailey Wheat starting all the way back at the turn. Get a little bit of a head of steam there. West Coast Mafia hitting the front of the pack with the rest of the Dallas blockers. Chocolate on hand for offense, but not needed currently. West Coast Mafia with 3 to beat around the apex of turn 2. And side skating able to get through. Sounds like an illegal contact being called on Don't Blink, headed to the penalty box.
The star has been passed for Dallas. Taking over as jammer for Dallas is number 1229 Juice Box. And that is going to cause West Coast Mafia to call off the jam.
Quick 2 points for Arizona in that jam. 12 minutes left in this half. And then again, we are going to be welcoming our Arizona B team to take on Dallas's B team right after this. So stay tuned. Loose Chaos jamming against K Carnage. Loose Chaos trying to take that outside line and getting recycled back a bit. K Carnage trying to take the inside line, getting hit to the inside. Loose Chaos, your lead jammer for the Arizona All-Stars.
Kate Carnage exits the front of the pack for Dallas and is out and clear. Loose Chaos into the pack for Arizona and calls it off with Kate Carnage coming along the inside.
This is the 4th jam that Arizona has held Dallas scoreless with those quick 4-point calls and then calling it off. We've got Stashbot 5000 going up against 9 Nancy. Stashbot able to sneak through on the turn 2 apex. Dallas not fully together as Stashbot approaches. She gets 4 more points. 9 Nancy looks like at the back of the pack. No, excuse me, 9 Nancy in the penalty box. Stashbot with another 4 points in the air. That is her second scoring pass. Big hit on Stashbot by Juice Box. She's able to hop back up and shake it off, but that definitely took her out a second. And big hit to the inside there by Chocolate. Is going to reside, I believe that is Bailey, no, that's, looks like Miss Murder there. Tried to recover from that, got a cut track penalty. I suspect we are gonna have a little bit of a meeting about this. I see Dallas's coaches in the middle. Going to be talking about it. I see Fred Netz, coach for Arizona, in the middle. Official review being called. I want to give a shout out to some of our Arizona Roller Derby sponsors. Huss Brewing Company is donating some of the beer for Monsoon Madness today. They are a craft brewery in Tempe, and they offer a range of beers from porters to lagers, and serving 20 different styles in their beautiful airy tap room. We are also sponsored by Mother Bunch Brewing Company. They're a proud supporter of Arizona Roller Derby in general and the city teams, the the Valley Rollers and the Desert Phantoms. Stop by their restaurant over on 7th Street for beer or food and get 10% off when you mention that you are with AZRD.
Don't forget about the official after-party location tonight. It's Angel's Trumpet Ale House Arcadia. It is the new official after-party venue for AZRD. It's located on 44th Street, just 10 minutes north of Ability 360. Again, that's Angel's Trumpet Ale House Arcadia. Come hang out after tonight's bout and enjoy 10% off their huge beer selection and tasty menu, which includes salads, pizza, and flatbreads, sandwiches, and more. Angel's Trumpet Ale House Arcadia. It's tonight's after-party location once all the festivities are over this evening.
And Greg, did you know that if one after party is not enough for you, there's an after party?
There's an after party.
There's an after party going to be at Boycott Bar, which is on 7th Avenue in the Melrose District, just north of Indian School. And I have seen some of the Instagrams that come out of the after party. It looks really fun. It looks like I probably couldn't hang long enough to be at the after party, but you should definitely check it out. Again, that's Boycott Bar, 7th Avenue, just north of Indian School in the Melrose neighborhood. All right, looks like we're gonna have a head ref let us know what that official review consisted of.
Dallas used their official review to look for a charging call on the Arizona Jammer. Upon review, it was determined that the Arizona Jammer did not actually force the black blocker to stay down on the ground, and was also the recipient of illegal action which put him in contact with the Dallas blocker. So the no call will stand, and Dallas will not retain the review.
All right, thank you so much. All right, looks like our teams are almost ready to go here. We have Castrator on the line for Arizona, and our Dallas Jammer still hanging out in the penalty box. Looks like having a little chat with Chokia Latte. Looks like Miss Murder with the star on for Dallas once we finish our official review timing here.
And we are underway now here in this next jam. All right.
Castrator doing some great footwork there to sneak around those last couple of Dallas blockers to get her 4 points.
So now tiptoeing way through along the inside is Ms. Murder for Dallas, and Ms. Murder gets clear of the pack. Ms. Murder started off this jam in the penalty box. Castrator keeping an eye on the action.
Arizona speeding up to protect their points. Miss Murder looks like 0 for her, and Castrator is going to keep those 8 points that she got. So a score of 219 for Arizona, 24 for Dallas. Down to our last 7.5 minutes. Remember, we've got some food trucks outside, and then immediately following this bout, we're going to have the B team from both of these leagues. So the Arizona Rising versus the Dallas Battalion of Doom.
Fighting her way through the pack is West Coast Mafia, and is your lead jammer Bourbon Barbie right out behind her. West Coast Mafia cognizant of that and calls off the jam.
Looks like Kate Carnage on the line going up against Loose Chaos. Loose Chaos virtually untouched as she gets through on that inside line for lead jammer status.
Kate Carnage out of the pack as well for Dallas, so she's going to try to force the issue here. Loose Chaos tiptoeing past some people along the outside of the track.
Arizona calling it off at just the very last second. Did allow Dallas to get one of those points, though, with that 4th whistle. Bailey Wheat jamming for Dallas, going up against Stashbot. Bailey Wheat almost able, there we go, to get lead jammer status. She is your lead jammer for Dallas. Bailey Wheat pouring on the steam. Stashbot really excited to chase a jammer, it looks like. Dallas doing a great job of breaking up Arizona's defensive wall. Bailey Wheat hits 2 of the blockers and calls it off. I take that back, 1 blocker. And we have 9mm Nancy wearing the star for Dallas. Castrator wearing it for Arizona. Castrator pushing through the middle of the pack, able to find the inside line free and gets that lead jammer status. Looks like a cut track being called on Sherman as they go and sit in the box. 9mm Nancy stashing that star to get through the pack. Castrator attempting to come through in a backwards skate fashion, gets 3 points and calls it off.
Looks like it's going to be Bourbon Barbie getting ready to jam for Dallas. and West Coast Mafia jamming for Arizona. Both jammers towards the back of the pack and trying to find an opening. Looks like West Coast Mafia to the front of the pack first, trying to find her way through. Bourbon Barbie fighting her way through some blockers. Knocks a blocker out of the way and is able to sneak through, and she's lead jammer for Dallas. West Coast Mafia able to clear the pack, was bumped off, but a penalty called on the blocker. So West Coast Mafia out of the pack as well, as Bourbon Barbie now trying to put some points on the board.
West Coast Mafia maybe invisible in that go-around there. Goes through the pack untouched. Bourbon Barbie with that lead jammer status. Getting no love there from Sherman at the back of the pack. Bourbon Barbie also maybe watching the clock to let some of her blockers out of the penalty box before she decides to call it. Two points for Bourbon Barbie in that last jam. 8 points for West Coast Mafia.
We've got Luz Chaos ready to jam for Arizona and K Carnage for Dallas.
K Carnage out to, oh, I'm sorry. K Carnage getting assessed a track cut call. Luz Chaos, lead jammer for Arizona. Luz Chaos able to shake off one of the hits from Dallas, but getting recycled back by that second hit. Looks like care of Guillotine Grace. She is on a point scoring pass. She has 4 points up currently. Virtually untouched, lots of whistles. Looks like RC Autobot gonna cool her heels in the penalty box. And another 4 points for Luz Chaos as she emerges from turn 2. K Carnage able to shake off a hit from Chocolate, but does enter the track illegally, is assessed another track cut call. So unless Luz Chaos calls it, the K Carnage should be in the box for probably the rest of this jam. Arizona sitting at exactly 250 points for the Arizona All-Stars. 28 for Dallas as the period clock has expired. We're gonna make sure all of our numbers add up. That rolling whistle means our official score, the Dallas Army of Darkness 28, the Arizona All-Stars 250.
So that does bring our third bout to a close. Fans, feel free to come on down trackside and slap 5 with your favorite skaters as they come on by. Of course, our next bout that'll be starting in approximately, probably about 20 minutes from now. It'll be 15 minutes when they get the countdown clock started. That takes about 5 minutes. Anyhow, our next bout is going to be the Dallas B Squad versus the Arizona B Squad. Just one more quick reminder. No vaping in the building. Obviously, no smoking in the building. That everybody knows that one. But you cannot vape in the building either. This is a scent-free zone. So if you will be vaping or smoking between bouts, please step outside and go to the top floor of the parking garage. The second floor of the parking garage, that is the designated smoking and vaping area.